Hey, everybody, welcome to the MD Levrone Report, starring IFBB Hall of Fame bodybuilder and the owner of Levrone Supplements, none other than the Maryland muscle machine, Kevin Levrone. And joining us today, a very special guest, hottest new rookie on the scene. I hate calling him a rookie because he's already won the Arnold Classic, the New York Pro, top 5 at the Olympia, the Mutant, Nick Walker. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you for having me on, man. I love coming on this show.
All right.
Yeah,
Kevin?
Thank you for coming, Nick. You know, Ron, you said he's a rookie, but when I saw your video that you had made when you were training for that Arnold Classic, and I saw the look in your eyes, man, and it hit home for me because I remember that, and it's almost like when you did that, man, I was like, you know what, this guy means freaking business, and I knew. You know, you were my pick for that show, man. And I knew that I said, you know, and I know you saw my post, but I was like, you know what? This guy, he's going to plow over every freaking body in that show. And you did it, man. And I want to congratulate you. You know, I know I congratulated you on Instagram, but you know what? Now that you're here with us on the MD Levrone Report, congratulations, brother. Well deserved.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, well deserved. Definitely. I wanted to talk about, actually, I know you got a lot of fans, man, and people, they see you as a pro. They look up to you. But one thing that I know, a couple questions that came in, and kids want to know, what is it that clicked in your mind where you said, you know what, this is what I want to do for a living, and I'm good at it?
Honestly, it was probably my first show I ever did. Which I didn't know I was good at it at the time, because at my first show, there was way too many mistakes and I looked like complete crap on stage. But I enjoyed the whole entire process of everything. I enjoyed being on stage. I enjoyed dieting. I enjoyed, I just enjoyed training in general. And I knew like, that's what I wanted to do, was somehow find a way to make training like my full-time job. And I knew bodybuilding was the way to go. That being said, like I knew my first prep, there were way too many mistakes, because when I started that prep, I weighed almost like 230 pounds. And then on stage, I was like 159. So I overdieted a little bit. And then the following year, I came back and I won every team division show I did, placed third in the open light heavyweights. And I came back, I was like 194. I just made the light heavies. And every year since then, I just kept progressing. And my first national show was USA's in 2016 as a light heavy, and I got 6th there. And I think it was that moment for me where I actually knew I could be good enough, and that's when a lot of things clicked at that point.
Now, were you athletic like in high school when you were like a teenager? Did you already have like a frame? Were you an early bloomer, or were you like a late bloomer? Like, give us some kind of like, where were you like when you're like your senior year of high school? Did you play football or anything like that?
No. So actually, when I was younger, like before high school, I played soccer, football, and baseball. In high school, I didn't play any sports. This might sound bad, but my high school sucked at sports, so I didn't want to play. But that was when I started weight training a lot. So like I started my freshman year probably like weighing 165, and by my senior year I was like around 230.
Wow.
So you're naturally you're a naturally big, thick guy coming out of high school. I graduated high school. I was 100 and about 45, 46 pounds.
You weren't.
They had to be recruiting you, man. You're now. What were some of the numbers? Were you a heavy squatter in high school, heavy bencher, or what?
No, not really. I didn't really know how to train that much. Like the most I've ever squatted, I did 700 pounds for 4. I benched 525 for 5. And I deadlift 700 for 3.
Sounds like good numbers to me.
That's a good number, Ron.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just want to throw in, it's funny how people try to make videos and say, Nick's growing too fast, he's this and that. they're acting like Nick was like some little skinny kid 2 years ago and he just blew up overnight.
Yeah.
As Jose pointed out in our video, you're still 27, right? So you've been training 10 years hard at least, right? More?
Much, yeah. Like I started training probably when I was 13, 14, but like actual serious training was probably around 16, 17.
Okay. So well over 10 years of very hard, consistent training. It's
It's
not like you just got this. You've been a big person for a while. It's not like you just got big in 2020 or something. Just want to make that clear. Good. What do you think about that? Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so Nick, you move on, and next thing you know, you ended up turning pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize that you were going to be like a good pro? There's a lot of people that get pro cards, but they don't really do anything. When did you realize that, you know what, I can take these guys, man? I'm one of the top pro guys. You know what I mean? You're just not. When did that click in your head? Because I know at some point you had to walk out on stage. You had to look at something and say, you know what? I've arrived. When was that? Or what was that?
I did Chicago Pro, which was 6 weeks after I turned pro, and I got fourth. And I really like looked at all the pictures between the three people that beat me. And I said, I'm not far behind. I literally just need a little more time and I'm going to surpass everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And, after Chicago, I had like a little 2.5 month little off season. And then in January, we started prep for the New York Pro. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Just to throw it out there, who beat you in Chicago? Do you remember?
Justin Rodriguez, Hakeem Williams, and Max Charles.
And you beat all of them at the Olympia, not even a year later.
They have never beaten me again.
Never beat me since, yeah. Interesting.
That's pretty badass, What's your driving force now, Nick?
I want to be Mr. Olympia. That's the main goal.
Yeah. Give us a day of like your mindset, like when you wake up. Give us what do you do like on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays that going to get you that Mr. O? Do you visualize? Do you read books? Do you look at old bodybuilding tapes and everything? Do you look at shows? Do you look at your competitors? Do you try to size them up, see what's going on with everybody else mentally? Like, what's your strategic approach to this right now?
No, I mean, honestly, normally when I get up in the morning, what I normally do is I sit on my back porch and I drink my cup of coffee and I just analyze everything I've done, what my plans are going to be, what I'm going to execute that day. I don't really like to worry about anyone else. I worry about me. I know what I'm capable of doing, and that's what I focus on the most. I feel like if you start worrying about other people, it distracts you from your own goals and what you're capable of. So I focus on me and making the improvements that I need to make. And then, it's got me this far. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to throw something that's very interesting is last year you had this rivalry in the early part of the year with Blessing Awobidu.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on in the sport. It was that dull time. And that was like the big story was you guys going back and forth, taking shots at each other. It was fun. It was because we had nothing else going on. Yeah. But I've seen lately you've been going and training with him and it seems like you guys became good friends. How'd that come about? Not that you were ever enemies or anything, but how'd you guys end up becoming friends?
Oh, well, I remember it was at finals at New York Pro. Like we were just chilling backstage and we had a good 20-minute talk. And I was like, Blessing's a pretty cool dude. Yeah. So then, we kept in touch since that show. And then we linked up for one training session, which he came down to Revive. We trained back. And then ever since then, we've been training at least once a week together, and it becomes a weekly thing now. And I enjoy training with him because he trains hard, which that's a given. Yeah. But it's fun. We have that sense of humor with each other where we can turn it off in between sets, but know how to turn it right back on as soon as we get back in the set. And I think people miss that. Like as serious as this is, and I know I can get really serious. You need to sometimes take a little bit of step back and just enjoy the process and remember to have fun too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Nick, give us a rundown of like do you do a 3-on, 1 off? Do you train 5 days a week? What muscle groups do you train together? Do you do push pull separately, or you do them together? Like, what's a Nick Walker approach to when he hits the gym? Like, what's your weekly workout look like?
Recently, I've been doing Mondays or leg day, but quad dominant day. Tuesday will be my back days. Wednesdays, I'll do chest and biceps. And then Thursdays, I take off. And then Fridays, I'll do hamstring day with a touch up of back. And then Saturday, I'll do shoulders and triceps and some chest touch up. And then Sunday, I take off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And about how many calories are you eating right now?
Probably a little over 5,000, I'd say.
Yeah. Majority of that is food, or you're including supplements into that?
Food.
Yeah. What's your protein source? Your favorite protein source? Are you like a steak guy or a chicken guy? You rely on egg whites, or you go with like fish or?
No, I usually eat majority chicken or steak.
Okay.
Yeah, me and fish, we don't mesh very well.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now, what's your off season? Like, what's your weight right now?
296.
296 pounds, and your height?
5'7" and a half.
5'7" and a half. That's a lot of mass.
Big dude.
That's a lot of mass. And like, what's your lean body fat right now? Any idea?
No, but I'm pretty lean. Like my abs are still very visible. I'm still pretty hard, which is shocking for me because this is the heaviest I have been and the leanest I've been so far, for sure.
I have a question, Nick. There was a rumor that you wanted to do the Arnold Classic and this and that, but I went and said on one of my videos, my speculation that I don't think Nick ever wanted to do the Arnold because you did you do USA the same year you did North American or no?
No.
Okay, but still, you were in prep from the North American, which was what, like April or May of 2020. You started that all the way through to the Olympia, late October of 2021. You were in prep a long time. You hadn't had an off season in well over a year. Am I right?
Right.
So I didn't think you had any desire to get back into a prep. I assumed you want a nice off season, put some more quality mass on. So who's right there? Was I right in saying in that, or did you actually think about doing that?
At first, I didn't want to do it, but then I changed my mind, and then I did think about it because they moved the Olympia to December. So in my mind, if I did the Arnold and possibly kept my title, I still have a long gap to rest, chill, and then probably even have a short off season and then have prep for the Olympia.
Okay. Yeah, but that being said, you must be happy that you're not prepping right now because you're making great gains. And you're
the longest, right now at this point, it's like the longest off season I've had.
Wow, yeah. Are you going out of your mind? Like
a little bit. I like prep.
One of those people.
Nick, have you ever had any injuries?
Do I have any injuries? No.
No. Have you ever had any injuries at all?
Not severe ones. No, I had during the New York Prep Pro, I had a slight knee issue, but it wasn't like a major injury or anything.
Mm-hmm. Now, with your leg workout, are you more of a squat guy to build those quads like that? Because it looked like you do a lot of squats.
I used to. I don't really free weight squat anymore. I do a lot of hack squats.
Yeah.
And like.
Yeah. Is that for safety reasons? Just longevity reasons?
I squat in the Smith machine. For me, I feel like I can contract my legs better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I can tell in your voice, man, that Ron, just by listening to him, it's like he has this tunnel vision. You know what I mean? And when he talks, it's almost like the words come out like deadly, like, you know what I mean? No shit. I'm serious, man, because I mean, a lot of this is mental. It's a mental game. You got to be like mentally half damn crazy. Something's got to be like trigger you to like, you know what? You don't even care. It's a done deal. Nobody's gonna be able to stop me from doing this shit. I already know what I want. Let me ask you this, Nick. Let's say you win the Olympia, right? Are you going to be one of those champions that you want to win it 8 times or you win it 9 times, or is that just a goal? You done? I've reached the top of that mountain. It's done.
Oh no,
Like, what would you do if you win?
I want to win Mr. Olympia and retire with as many as I can get.
Really? Okay, so you're gonna be around for a while. All right. All right.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, you're the only person I know that said if you won it, that was it. You would have been done. Everyone else is like, no, I want to keep winning it for 1,000 years.
I was done. That was my goal. You know, you reach your goal and you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think you're going to be a daggone one hell of a threat coming in. I mean, let me ask you this: what do you think about the previous champ right now?
Previous champ?
For what, the Arnold or the Olympia?
Oh, the Olympia. What do you think about? I mean, not the previous, the current Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy. What do you think about him?
I think he's big.
Yeah, I mean, he's not unbeatable. He's been beaten before. He's the best right now, but I don't.
He needs to be more conditioned.
Yeah, I mean, he's got chinks in the armor. Someone could come along like Nick and
Nick, what do you think his weakness is?
I think his back's a weakness. I don't think is compared to how his legs are. I think his back is a little down. I think his arms are a little on the smaller side compared to the rest of his body. And I think even his chest a little bit too.
Yeah. What would you say based on how you looked, Nick, last year when you took 5th, what needs to be different for you to go from 5th to 1st in a year's time? Like 14 months, you have even longer.
I definitely need to bring up my quads, but just bring up everything, keep my waist tight, and just come in completely peeled.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh?
At the Olympia, I was 245. At the Arnold, I was 250.
Yeah.
And what's your plans for the Olympia? What kind of weight? Or do you not really look at the scale?
I don't really look at the scale, but I would like to be at least 8 to 10 pounds heavier.
Okay. I have a question, Nick. You've been how long? You've been in Florida now? About 6 months, 8 months, something like that.
No, over a year, man. I've been here since for 2020. Yeah, so it's like a year and a half.
So you're an East Coast guy, like a lot of us. How have you adapted? Do you like it down there? Or do you sometimes think I kind of liked it better back in Jersey? Or are you Florida for life now?
Oh, I'm Florida. Every time I go home in the cold, my joints hurt. I'm like, I gotta leave. Down here, it's always sunny. Joints feel great. Love it.
Man.
Now, you got any other sports, Nick, outside of bodybuilding? Do you like fishing, or you're a hunter, or what do you got? What do you do for fun?
I'm a full-time bodybuilder.
Oh, man. I mean, that's what it is.
Hey, Ron, he means business. He means business, baby.
Yeah, you
I like the movies, if that counts as a hobby.
Sure.
Right.
But I mean, it's refreshing to see. I don't want to shit on the current generation. I have kids that are, 22 and 27, almost 28 years old. Every generation has its own issues to deal with, but there's a lot of unfocused people your age, Nick, who don't really know what they want to do yet. And they don't have a sense of purpose yet. And it's cool to see someone who your age, you know exactly what you want to do. You're doing it and you're already well on your way to the top of the mountain. I think you're able to have a good influence. You have an amazing fan base, what they call Walker Nation. There's millions of them out there. You look at the numbers on the Instagram, on the YouTube. How often do you hear from these kids, man? Thank you, Nick. If it weren't for you, I'd probably be out partying all the time. I'd be wasting my life. And now at least, I've got, you're inspiring me to have some more discipline, to have a little more structure and order to my life in general.
Oh, I get messages all the time. And, each time it keeps me humble because it's awesome when you're able to motivate and inspire people through your own journey and not even realize it, and now that I do, I feel it's part of my job to let people know that you're capable of doing anything you want. I remember when I started competing, no one said I'd be where I'm at today. I got shitted on so bad, and I never let it affect me once, and I just kept my mouth shut, and I got to where I am today because of how bad I wanted it. And if I personally believe good genetics, bad genetics, whatever the case is, if you work hard and believe in yourself, you'll be surprised what you're capable of doing.
Yeah. So Nick, what's the message for a kid out there that's looking at you, and the kid out there that's like ready to give up, and because things in his life or his parents aren't getting along, or he comes from a broken home? What's your message to that kid who's trying to find some hope and say, you know what, I want to do? Like, what would you tell him?
We all go through obstacles. We all go through struggles. Well, you just got to fight through it, keep working hard, and there's light at the end of every dark tunnel.
Is there moments, Nick, where you get like kind of like down? And if you do, like, what is it that what keeps you up in those down times?
Everyone that supports me, and including my family. I talk to my mother every day. Whenever I do feel a certain way, I just go to her, and she always puts me in my place, and I'm just like, you're right.
Yeah.
But that's it. I look back at everyone who I inspire, who I motivate, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to be down. Yeah.
I just got to throw out there, your parents are awesome. Tracy, and what's your dad's name?
Lou.
Oh, and your brother's Lou too, right?
Yeah, he's Lou Jr.
Yeah. Kevin, his parents are at every show. They got T-shirts with they're the best fans. They're so supportive of him. They're so hyped up for him. It's so cool to see, because I know a lot of the pros and stuff, their parents, if their parents are even alive, they could care less about this bodybuilding stuff. I know guys, they say, no, my dad, my mom, they've never been to a show. I tell them I won. They go, oh, that's cool. You won a show, but it's cool that his parents are so into it, because his dad, your dad never actually competed, did he? Or did he compete when he was?
He did compete. He did like 1 or 2 shows in his day.
Yeah. Second generation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nick, do you ever watch the movies Pump and Iron, or the old school bodybuilders back then to get motivated?
Yeah, of course. I've even watched some of your videos, the Maryland Muscle Machine. That was one of my favorites coming out.
Oh man, thank you. Of
course. You, Gates, Jay Cutler's, Ronnie Coleman's, all of them.
Yeah. Talking to you, I can tell that Nick's he has a likable personality, and you have this serious side to you, but you also have this side, a caring side to you. And I think that's what your fans connect to. They see the bodybuilder, but there's something else about you when you start talking that people want to hear what you have to say. They want to learn, like, wow, okay, this man is cool. He has something. You got that it factor, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not only that, he's on the Fawad podcast all the time. He's hilarious. If this bodybuilding thing doesn't work out, you could go into comedy. I'm serious. He's hilarious, Kevin.
Fuad's got a great podcast going on over there, man. And
I'll give it to Fuad. He kept things very entertaining, especially during the COVID times, man.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
They hardly talk about bodybuilding. It's like every weird subject
about bodybuilding.
It's all kind of a lot of sex stuff, which of course, who doesn't want to talk about that? Most would find that pretty interesting. But that's your personality shows through, and that's I think that's we talk about the difference between like Kevin's era and this era, and the fans get to see so much more of you because there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's Snap, there's all these things where they have access and they hear him talk every day. They see what he's doing every day, and they really feel like they know him. They have a connection to him. Whereas, back, Kevin, when it was you and Dorian, it was just pictures in a magazine, or maybe you could buy their video, but you didn't really, it was like you guys were a mystery. They didn't really know you. So when they met you, they're like, oh my God, it's like they were meeting a Hollywood star or something. They didn't feel like they knew you. Whereas, we talk about social media, it sucks and this and that, but it gives these people such a connection. The fans have an access to guys like Nick. And Nick, you're great at the social media game. Obviously, like not just because you're young. I'm sure you've actually worked hard to get this level of expertise at it. But
Oh yeah.
it's cool that you're so engaging with the fans. You go back and forth with them, and they appreciate that. I know they do. That's why Walker Nation is a few million strong now.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's important. I feel like we're all just people. I'm no better than anyone else. So, I don't like when, people who think they're better than other people and don't respond because they think but we're all the same, man. I just so happen to be good at what I do,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And you're a real true human being. You're not some prima donna that's trying to impress people and putting out fake bullshit out there. You know what I mean? You're a real human being, and that realness comes through very, very powerful, man. Just it's amazing, man. Thank you for making the time to come on here. And I know I've asked you a couple times and you've been busy and everything, but I'm extremely excited to have you here, man. And I want to thank you once again for doing this for us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. Absolutely.
The only bummer for fans is we don't get to see you on stage until, is it December? Yeah, December.
December, man.
Wow, it's long.
December.
It's gonna be a long year.
So when?
The Olympia's in December.
But Nick, I mean, can you pull out a bicep or something and give it to us, man?
24 inches all day. Look at that.
Is that 24 inches, Nick?
Yeah. Now it is.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
Oof. Good Lord. Yeah. Cool. Well, Kevin, Nick, thank you both. It's been good having you on the show. Appreciate it so much. Nick, you can follow him. It's Nick Walker 39 on Instagram.
Yeah, Nick Walker, or no, Nick, I don't know. I don't even know my own Instagram.
Put in Nick Walker, it'll come up. And the YouTube channel is Nick Walker.
You'll see my picture.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one. If there's any imposters, don't follow them. Follow him. Cool. Kevin,
I think
thank
all you got to do is just Google Walker Nation. I mean, he's everywhere. He's not hard to find. It's the man right there, Nick. I want to thank you. Ron, you're the man. Nick, I want to thank you for coming on the MD Levrone Report, brother. And I cannot wait to see you on that Olympia stage, man. I'll be there cheering you on, brother. And Ron, the show's out in Vegas, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's Hard Rock. Planet Hollywood. Planet Hollywood is the host, and then they're having the expo now at the Venetian, they announced today.
Okay.
Oh, great.
It'll be a big weekend. You better make it, Kevin. Yeah.
Hey, one more thing, Nick, before you go. Will you be showing up at the Arnold just to walk through and grace us with your presence, or what?
Yeah, I'll be at the Arnold, 100%.
All right. There you go, man.
Cool. Kevin, are you going to be there, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you both.
Levrone's Signature Series is coming in the U.S., so
okay.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, you were at the Olympia. You had a booth. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Mr. Walker, thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching MD Levrone Report. And guys, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching MD Levrone Report. We'll see you next time.
Peace.